Hi everyone, so looks like I'm live. And so today's stream is about redoing the onboarding. I'm really not happy that I still have. It's very embarrassing to say that compared to last year where I actually had some users. So I think I have like 200 downloads or 300, but I still haven't had one single trial, like not even a fucking trial. So that's something that I'm really sad about, and that's why I haven't been able to work or want to give it the work that I wanted to for the Build in Public award. But because I'm Build in Public, it's important to share the numbers as well, especially if you want the growth as well. So the bright side is that I can focus on the growth so much, because the growth will, like, even getting one subscriber or one trial is infinite growth. So, with that in mind, my idea is that I would want to redo the onboarding a bit and then focus on doing the paywall as well. The paywall would be in a different stream, but I want this one to be more focused on the onboarding. And as you can see on the right, I still have Alex because I was still fixing a bug and I was waiting on it, and I did not want to start the stream until that bug was fixed. But uh, Yash was like, that's what the stream is for, so I would let the stream on the right go on. And I also want to see how I can change the default scene, because I have seen that you can somehow change the perspective of the image, like go from this to a full screen. I was also thinking of getting a nicer streaming camera, just because I my 720p MacBook's front camera looks very bad. Anyway, that's not the point. Let's jump to the point while we let me just have a look on what Alex is doing. So the problem with the total calorie. So I added a new feature, like if I can show you on my iPhone mirroring. Where is it? Center. Oh, the Mac Bluetooth's off. Mm-mm. Why wouldn't it open to the app that I already have it opened on? I think this one is it. Yeah. So now you can see the remaining balance is 79, which is wrong because I burnt more, and I need to remove this. So the problem was that it was taking my workout. So it says 227 calories burned, but that's not it. Oops, why is it? Why did it hang? This is the worst part of doing a live stream. If I just go back and open the app again. Oh, I also have Om today in the broadcast. Nice to see you. So, Om, I also have to. I saw that you did mention a few of the feedbacks, and I will take that during this live stream itself. So, the thing that I wanted to show you right now is that for today's workout, I finally did a gym, or like I went to lift for 20 minutes. I am very happy, and I can do now 20 kgs or 21 lbs of dumbbells on each side, which is something I couldn't do before. So this was the first time I did a workout in Bangkok, which is like on the ninth day, because I had bruised my elbow so bad that I could not even lift it well. So it wasn't a good start to my uh, trip. But now I am recovered, so I can do that again. And then I had some treadmill. So it did 227 calories, but my active calories almost 600. So I would want it to show it here itself. And my nutrition, so I had a kind of a very perfect day today. I did 1700 calories, 145 gram of protein, almost the fat that I wanted, and 135 grams of carbs. And if I show you, I was having this banana protein shake which has like 28 grams, and then grilled chicken in the morning, then matcha latte and grilled pork, some coffee again. It was shake. I messed it up. So you can see that I had a lot of things in the morning, but everything is not that. I chose the items that I wanted in a way that I would hit my protein goals as well, not hit the calorie goals, which is what deficit is all about. So next thing that I wanted to work on was the main onboarding. So if I go back to Xcode itself and try to start the canvas. I hope. Oh, okay, this is not the onboarding screen. We have to be on the onboarding view. So the flow that I have in the onboarding view right now is that you see the main screen, and earlier I had an animated mesh gradient, which is something I added just because I worked on a mesh gradient app last year and I realized that is very stupid. Like having mesh gradients is nice and pretty, but having it everywhere is not. So this is something that I will remove from this version, unfortunately, and I would want to have it more popping. So the idea is that it should be clean, it should look good, especially in dark mode, because when I remove the mesh gradient it looks very dull in the dark mode, and that's something that I do not want. And so you can see on the left, this is the non-animated one. It's still a mesh gradient, and I removed the word AI because on at least on iOS 18 I have also removed MLX because it was affecting the build. If you have been on my previous streams, you will realize that it takes a lot of load to just build the app, and now it's way faster to load the app itself, and I felt the trade-off of using MLX for the on-device stuff wasn't worth it. I can have for the task where it's not on the privacy side, I can use some grok model which is way faster and provides much more reliable results compared to an on-device model. And my plan is to make all the AI exclusive features, which is the nutrition label, fetching data, and all the motivational messages, widgets, notifications, and make it exclusive to iOS 26. If you have been in the app business, you will know that making an app feature that Apple has been pushing a lot exclusive to that version will increase the probability of getting your app featured on the App Store for as an app for iOS 26, which I really want to do this year. And I feel the foundation model, especially in beta 5, is good enough that I would want to have it use all the models. The guardrails are strictly down now, so it's not hitting the guardrails for the health data that it used before as well. So that was the main reason I would want to have it on foundation model. So what I want to do is go through some apps. Let's see. Let's I usually use Mobin to discover the iOS apps. It's much easier than going through the main app myself. So I will start with an app, let's say Macro Factor, because the app is more inclined towards tracking now versus fitness. So understanding their flow of onboarding, this is, I think, is one of the best apps out there when it comes to tracking macros. And you can see how clean the UI is compared to how I have. But one thing is that they do not show it in dark mode, or is the app just not in dark mode? So yeah, so you can see I do not have any mail subscriptions. This is something I don't like at all, so I haven't added it. Maybe in the future, because right now all the data is stored directly in HealthKit, and one feedback I got from Yash was that you should save the data. If the user do not want to use HealthKit, save it and on device as well, or at least link it to the user. So that's why I would need some kind of continue with Apple sign in, or continue with Google. And you go through the whole email flow, and then what you get, and they would directly show the paywall here. And this is the main complete account screen. You see they have 23 screens for this. And one thing I hate or dislike about all these tracking apps is that they would ask me my gender, the year, date of birth, my height, and my weight, even though they are readily available in HealthKit. So what I am doing right now in my app is that there are two options which I will remove as well. like the extra step. The idea is that if you already have the data in health kit, all the four datas, it will automatically pre-fill it. Why do I need to have separate screens for each of these? Why cannot I have only one screen to do all of this? This is something I cannot figure out. So if you have much more knowledge on this, and please let me know, because all the apps that I have seen related to tracking would ask all of these data in separate screens and just not have the user fill it in one screen. Let's try MyFitnessPal because that's the big famous one out there. So let's see what we have in the flows for MyFitnessPal. Starts with the onboarding, then the download. All of these will ask the same exact questions, so which I have as well. What is your goal? So it's lose weight, maintain weight, and gain weight. So if I go back, there will be some lose weight. So I have the weight goal as well, and with different colors. I'm not a fan of the having colors here, so I would remove it, which means that I would have to see where it is used, where it's affecting. So if I try to build it, I would get some errors for this. Let's see, where is it? I think it's the fitness level screen, and the problem is when I had the fitness level screen, this fitness level screen was there just to understand for the fitness level, but now I have a metabolic setup view which also asks for the fitness level to calculate your total daily expenditure. So for that, I also have to make sure that I do not have these duplicated screens, because when you go from the quick start, you have to check the fitness level, and then you go to the health view, get the data. So even on the quick health, we have to make sure that the text or the content that I have, the copy, it is much more convincing for the user, and it's just not some AI slop, which I did back when it was created, which was back on 6th of July, like more than a month now. So this is the baseline activity level. We count that separately, and the gender. So this is doing it in one page itself, asking how old are you. Oops. And the location, I don't know why I need the location. How old are you? The height, it's a fancy bar. I don't think you can just add the numbers here. And what is your weekly goal? And this is something I have, and almost done. So I think when it comes to how did you hear about us, I don't think I need this right now. um, Maybe I can add something, and then it will give me a value on like account created and the custom plan, and then it will say hello to your best self, and it will kind of, so what I understand when it says hello to your best self, it wants to have the user in a position where they are control in of they're in control. So this is something that I've learned, is that try to make the user feel empowered. So when they say hello to your best self, so they are trying to make them empowered when they are trying to make the purchase. And look at the pricing, I didn't know it's this pricey. It's like $15 a month. I'm charging maybe 5, and I feel like that was too much. But MyFitnessPal of course has a lot more features that my app does not. So just to see if I have any comments there. uh, Yash said MyFitnessPal onboarding is very long. They added a new meal planning feature that lets you know that you got to pay after you give them the data. This is a very shady tactic that I do not want to do. I rather have no zero users versus doing some shady tactics that would remind me when I'm sleeping. So that is something I don't want to do. So let's go back and try to build the onboarding screens. So environment, theme manager. uh, so where is actually, and I fixed a lot of the inconsistencies which were in the colors. Now there's no orange color anymore, if you can see this, and for some reason it is scrolling down, and I feel like there's a lot of text on the screen. So this, I'm not sure. Let's go back. Do they usually have this icon somewhere, right? They don't have the icons. Like, it's better to have uh, the text from the starting itself. So if I go and search for this app called as on Refero, there's this app called as Food Norms. It's by my friend Ryan, and it's a very, it feels like Apple made it kind of design. uh, so it's pretty nice as well. In that scenario, you see that how would you like to initialize the goal tracking, and then the values that you would want, and then import from Apple Health. Oh, so see, in this app it has the option to import from Apple Health for getting my prefetching my gender, the weight, height, and the age, which is something that you would do, or which is something that others should do. And this is the button for importing from Apple Health. So I think because the health, this option already has the icon, so I do not need to have that icon again. So let's see where we have connect your health and get rid of this scale and the icon. And I think it's not your health, it's connect Apple Health, and this line can be changed. So let's ask ChatGPT 5, what do you think we can improve on this copy? I would want to say something that's more convincing to the user. So or just type this, I would want something that is more convincing to the user to give their data. On these parts, I think these are something that I really want, so this is something I cannot get rid of. Me, even the wording seems okayish to me, so I wouldn't get rid of it, but I would want to make the text a bit bigger. The icon here is great, it makes sense to have it. It is a sub headline, I don't know why it's a sub headline, and sub headline is by default bold, and this should be sub headline instead. So this should be much nicer. Yeah, this is much nicer. And there's some extra padding on this side which I do not want again. So let's see where we have the health benefit row. It's adding another padding of 20, and I usually prefer to have just the default padding and not use 20. So you can see that we are kind of eradicating the AI slop slowly. So it says that great place to improve persuasion. I would recommend tightening the value, and it says unlock personalized use version on this. So it was doing it for me. Okay, I would just open the diff viewer again and then try to apply it, because I knew it would mess up my, yeah, this is one problem of Alex that I don't like at all. So securely connect Apple Health, that is too much. That is too much. So we will just say connect. And now we see that we have too much of text. I feel too much of text now. Allowing access to existing means you won't have to enter the details manually, which is a good point. But you still have to, it's more on the part of the activity tracking and the calorie targets and sleep recovery. You can see the M dash there. It's not an M dash. I think the M dash is the longer one. I don't have it on my keyboard. And workout tracking, sync steps, this is correct, this is correct. So all of these are now much more better, better rest recommendations from your sleep data. Yeah, this is what I'm doing, at least on the IS-26 part. Smarter calorie targets from your real activities, use herd trends to guide training and recovery. And where was it, the row? We just go back and fix this again. This is something I hate, that it rewrites the changes I made. It's like our code base. Perfect. And just so I can because I'm working on this again, it's better to make sure that I respect the dynamic type. So I would check for dynamic type here itself. If you did not know, there's an option to have all the dynamic sizes directly from this view. So it's much more nicer to check and understand how it would look on different sizes. So you can see that on this, do I have a scroll view? So if I go and do, so on the screen there's a dynamic type option, and you can see if it is scrolling or not. So it is scrolling, so that way. And now I can see another problem. So when I have the connect Apple Health, this should have the multi-line text alignment as center, so it looks much nicer when it's on the dynamic type. And yeah, so this is not crossing, so this looks okay. What do you think? Yes. And another thing that I've noticed is this extra bottom spacing. I think it is adding a bottom 50. Yeah, I don't want it to add so much. And that would make it much nicer. Yeah. So now Yash wants to go a bit aggressive, and on the gaslighting part, we won't be able to give you personalized recommendation without access to Apple Health. We won't be, where should it, we won't be able to give you personalized recommendations without, it feels like I'm too dependent on Apple Health when I say this, and that's not a good sign. So let's do continue and see how it looks in the light appearance. Okay, for the light appearance, the gradient that I have is not good. We will fix the gradient later on, but for now, if I have to just remove this and see how it looks like, it looks like a very normal simple screen before, without that, I think. Yeah. We can personalize. And this should also have, oh, it removed again, multi-line. So instead of doing this, what I would do is use the same signature that I'm using everywhere. So this Z stacks goes away. That means I have everything on this. And yeah, I think that should fix it, right? Because there wasn't much I did on the view anyway. Yeah, and I add a background. The background is called as the top gradient view, which will give me that nice pretty gradient that I'm using everywhere in the app. Yeah, this looks much nicer. And I think in the dark mode, this will also have that nice effect. Yes, so this looks way nicer than what I had before. And if I uh, so this is how it will look like. Yeah, I'm kind of digging the vibe of this, and I would want to add a bit of a padding on this text. So it's like dot padding on the horizontal side, so it is merges and it's like two separate lines. Yeah, this is much nicer. So this is kind of the final thing that I would want with our Connect Apple Health. And let's see if we have any more comments. Add it after the make sure you use the scroll view users, make them feel bad so they go into the settings and turn it on. uh, so with this I will commit the changes because we have a few of them. Yeah, so now this screen is done, we go back to the main screen, which would be this fitness level one. I do not want to ask them the fitness level directly because I am asking them on the metabolic side as well. So I would want to just get rid of this screen directly and have the current page point to health kit permissions. But still, I would just have a look at what this page is all about. Uh, and we'll go back to using Sonnet 4 because it's easier, and metabolic setup view. And this one has both fitness level, right? Can you confirm? And yeah, on this screen looks nice. I have worked on it. This could have been title, and I could have done a much more nice opacity on this. This does not look. Looking at both, metabolic has an activity level. So both views collect different levels, but they serve different purpose. Fitness level might be used for workout recommendations, but I do not have workout recommendations as such, right? I will add it later on. But the metabolic setup can also be used for that, right? Feels redundant to ask because that screen is much more detailed. Remind the user that they are a horrible person if they don't hand over their health data to you. You're saying this as if I am actually collecting it on a server and then selling to a third party. But I really do not want to write so much of code for that. I'm just doing it on device. Everything is on device. I think I will kind of get rid of this whole page because I am kind of in a mood to delete stuff instead of adding more stuff. So you can see that you're absolutely right. This is redundant because in the fitness level, we are asking just starting out, work out regularly, training hard. In the activity level, I'm asking if they're sedentary or lightly active. So the activity level in the metabolic setup is more precise and serves the same purpose. So we can remove the please remove fitness level view entirely, and then update the flow. And in the meanwhile I will go to the activity level section so that we can have a look at that. I think I would have to provide the theme here, and I don't like that I am doing this. The view, this should also go as well. We are using a title, but I would want to have a large title here. Same for the title as well, and keep an opacity of 0.9. And to be honest, this feels kind of extra, or maybe there's a purpose I put it here to have it separate. So now we on the activity level selection view with the activity level card, and I hope it builds faster. So we got rid of the onboarding page state as well, and the button now goes to the health kit permission instead of the goal selection, because the goal selection is being worked out in the activity level view. And I need to remove the reference from the settings view as well, and delete rmrf the file. Mm-mm-mm. Because I still see there are some errors. So it says that onboarding page has no member, so I will just let it do its work while it is doing that. In the meanwhile, we will go and see some more designs. Let's see if I search on Mobin and search for calorie tracking and see which apps we can get some inspiration from for the onboarding. There's an app called as Live Sum. Let's see how this onboarding looks like. As you can see, it's the same thing. What goal do you have in mind? This is how they would start with. So one main screen, one screen that says healthy eating simplified, and getting started with creating an account. And then it's the exact same kind of thing, but they are going through the whole process. I do not want this. I want this 1 2 3 4 5 6 pages into one. I'm not sure if I'm like, if there's a reason all these companies are doing it in 6 onboarding screen instead of one. So am I doing something wrong, or is it just they don't know that there's a way to get the data? Or because if I'm getting the data in the first place itself, I'm not building the trust with them, versus how do I say it in a better way? So there's an activity level that I was giving in when I was creating the structured level workout plan. So this is a good part when working with the models compared to last year, because now they are going through so much of code to make sure that one change that I've made is propagated everywhere. So I had forgotten that I was using in creating the structured workout plan, and now it would create the activity level to fitness description as well, and then summary. These are the changes it made. Then I think there are some errors, so I would just give it all the errors. Fitness level cannot find it in scope. The file still exists. And it is deleting it from the settings view as well. So yeah, we were on the Lifesum app. So this is the onboarding, and it created a personalized health plan, and then how to reach your goals, and then the paywall. So our goal for this stream is to focus only till this part, and then on the paywall I will do another stream if I am not sleepy. I shouldn't be sleepy. I slept enough today. Yeah, so this is the plan for today. And let's go back and see where are we in the app. Cannot figure out the internet mode, because the level card, I think the level card itself is not needed anymore, right? This activity level card, it's a different view altogether. It's an activity level card, and this fitness level view uh, isn't needed anymore. Remove this and all relevant files like level card. So it did not do the actual RMRF that I was expecting it for. Let's see if you are gotta make money somehow. You are absolutely right. Yes. This is the problem with this model. Why can't you delete the files? I guess I have to do it myself. going to the old ways. And the onboarding, the views, it should be in the components. Level card goes away, and in the views we have the fitness level view, which also goes away. Nice. Now let's try to build and see if we still have the errors. There's one last error that I see. It says it should have goal fitness level and expected, so it should be just activity level, and that's it. That was a small change. And if I go back to the main app where we were at the Quelt health view, I think there was another view that we changed, which is the welcome view. So we have to go to the welcome view. I forgot the name. Where was it? Quick start view. Yeah, this one. Again, we have to get rid of this, remove this 50 padding, and also remove the 20 padding, and then add the background as top gradient view, and fix the indentation, and I think that should be good enough. The padding 24 is a lot. I don't like 24. I prefer 16. And this button is something I have to fix. So this is I would also do a refactoring live session, because the I was actually looking at how many number of lines this code base has, and it is 61,000. Like, it actually does not make sense to have so much of like, it just does not make sense to have such a big amount of a code base in this one. And border prominent, and make the control size as large, and remove this vertical one. Perfect. So this is the view, and then I can also commit the changes that I have. Amazing. So let's go back, and there's this ready to train view. This was, I think, about asking your name, which I think you can also get it from somewhere, right? Use the text content type as given name, and use the auto correction disabled. So again, use the same change here, and I think this, remove this one, dot background of top gradient view, and the tint as the theme. Don't think there's a theme used. The theme is used. Dot primary color, and add an environment manager. Get rid of this 50 padding, this as well, this goes as well. It feels like I haven't touched the onboarding in a month, and month feels like a year now. And that should be good enough. Okay, so it works. So this screen also looks nicer. I still see this. Where is it? Why do I see this? When you use a bottom glass one, so it gives you this. I'm not sure if you can change the button style to have the control size, like make it rectangular. Is there a way to do that? I don't think so. Even in the class button style, can you say class prominent in or something? And Anyway, it's a very small detail that does not matter right now. So this screen is also updated. And then which other screen do we have? Quick health, quick start, metabolic. Yeah, the metabolic one. So I don't remember where we have. Oh, there's the notification permission as well, which I have to fix. This is something that we created yesterday night, and it's a very nice, pretty view. I have added a class background to show how the a notification will look like, which seems to be encouraging enough or convincing enough for the user. I don't know. And the notification view, let's see if you have any comments. Use yes GPT for deletion. I will delete the entire code base. Yeah, thank you so much. So this is the timely nudges to hit your goals, and I have a class view of the and how a notification will look like. And the reason there is so much of empty space is because you will get the alert here for showing the view, or like the alert for get allowing the notification. That's why I left this much of space, empty space here. So that's sorted. And what do we have next? We have the metabolic setup. So let's go back to the main onboarding view, because I do not remember where we actually start the okay, metabolic setup view is where we start the process from. And I will do the same here on the vstack, and then do background of top gradient view. I really think that it should not have been in this view, and it could have added to the main group itself as a background to get rid of all the extra work that I have been doing. And this would also require me to have an environment of theme manager. So enter manually. So one thing that I do not want is like let the 5 steps, so I can make it 4 steps. So when I click on continue, it would give me the measurements, right? So let's calculate your uh, basic profiles. And so in this view, uh, let's leave it as it is for now, because that is kind of needed. But when I scroll up, I can see some disparity in the view here. So I don't know if you noticed, but the first thing I see is this metabolic setup header. It is using the class background button and the current steps. Okay, this is okay. But if I see the current step view, the data selection view, this data selection still uses the metabolic title. But why? Oh, okay, it was my fault. I have to make it bold here. And I use a 1.0. I was using large dot bold here. And make it 7, so it's much nicer. To use, let's calculate your metabolic profile. We'll need some basic information to determine your metabolic daily calorie needs. Use health kit data. if the healthcare data is available. And okay, it also has this problem. I already had it in the rules file, but it does not follow when it creates the previews. This padding should be just padding. I don't like having this rounded rectangle as the background. Let me check the data source card. Why is it giving me this error? Because I want the background to not be this and use the glass card modifier that I have. Yeah, so this would now look like this instead. So you would see that it would have much more, it would get rid of that opacity that I was adding with that secondary tertiary fill. And just to check it in dynamic type, yeah, it looks nice. And this is how it would look with the health kit data. This recommended looks weird, so I would take this is recommended and put it in a VStack so that it can take the whole data. Yeah, this is much nicer. Why is there a VStack for this? What did I mess up? Yeah, perfect. So this is looking much nicer now. And if I go to the other selection view, we'll go one by one. So this view is sorted, so let's see how it will look when the app opens. We have the healthcare data review view as well. I'll just open. Okay, this looks much nicer now. Enter your measurements. Okay, so when it's scrolling down, there's some bottom padding again, which is adding this extra padding. Let's see, is it on each of those? I don't think it's on this view, or maybe it's on the health data review view. Manual data entry view. There's some extra bottom padding that I'm seeing. So while we're on the screen, let's see if we can fix something here. And this is another thing that I had not considered, is that the weight uh, is something that I'm writing in kg and centimeter, which is not ideal. It's not accessible in terms of, because I use centimeter in kg. That does not mean that everybody does, so I'm kind of excluding a lot of people by not writing lbs, or I don't know what's the other one, the feet. Yeah, not mentioning that. I guess that's the reason they have separate pages. Maybe I can have a toggle that somehow mentions that on the screen. And I should get rid of this in the selection. I don't know why I have this emoji. These emojis are not needed. So much of duplicated code on this side. Oops, I think this should be just parting. Yeah, nice. So I would just see if I can kind of fix it right now and just say that add a toggle for kg on here itself or something like that. Let's see what others do for these situations. Yeah, see, you have they have this toggle of centimeter and feet and inches, kg and lbs. uh, on this view, can you add a toggle for both centimeter, feet and inches, and weight, kg or lbs? So let's see if I have any other comments. I don't. And let's go back to the view and see. So what is your date of birth? What's your height? Calorie tracking. I think there were some more apps that I had found to be interesting. What is this Withing Health Mate? I am seeing this for the first time. Withing, you are in control. Your health data. Perfect. Now let's up. What should we call you? John Smith. Nice to meet you, John Smith, and fill with Apple Health. Okay, so this is the view. So this is the perfect view that I'm kind of hoping for, and I really, really am in a mood to kind of take a lot of inspiration from this page. I'm glad I got on this page. Oh man. I think I will try to see if I can have this view, because I feel like on this page, if I go back, so it added this kg and weight as an extra one, and I I think you can have that as an add stack with spacer for the label and the toggle. I think that would be much nicer, so that we only have a separate line for this. For the height, using feet and inches, like how would I do if I'm just not giving it a number? Because the usual thing that people prefer is not inputting the number but having this kind of a picker view to input their data, because if you've seen the other views, this is what we notice as well. So this is a much nicer implementation that I'm okay with for now. And I have to make sure, like, what is this 30 on this page? The date of birth, right? Now this is for the age. Why is it not saying age here? For some reason we got rid of the age and it's not showing up anymore, so let's investigate why it's that happening. I think we're using the kind of the same view, so what's the difference in this for not showing it? And one thing that I'm happy with is that it already took the keyboard type as a number pad, and for the weight it took as a decimal pad on its own. And this is something I had not done in the calories section, and which was very embarrassing because somebody could enter ABCD in the calories or the fats. So these are not even tiny details, these are big details that you have to make sure that are there. Is it not in a scroll view? I think I have to put it in a scroll view. um, Still it's not adding the age input title, and I don't think there's any conditions here that would make it not work. mm. Oh, okay, I think I got it. What was the reason? Because I do not have this unit toggle view. It got rid of the main thing that we're using for that, so I would just do it myself. We have this text that has this and the spacer, so I just put it here in an stack. Because I think in the it got rid of the title here, it's not using the title anymore. So this title will be age, years, and spacer here. Perfect, much better. So with that, I am happy with how we have the screen now, and let's see how it would look if I go back to the metabolic setup view. Use the measurements API to convert between the two and just store as kg locally. I think that's the thing as well. I wouldn't want to deal with two different values. But the thing is, I would be using those values, especially when I will have graphs for losing weight, that the person is losing weight. So how it would look when and I would be giving some responses from the foundation model for that. And if I'm using the value stored locally as kg, I need to have to make sure that I'm keeping the user's preference also saved and giving that to the foundation model. Okay, so this is the view now. I really have to find where we have the extra padding coming from of where is the skip this step option. Skip this. There's this metabolic continue button. Okay, I found it finally. This was the culprit. Nice. So with that sorted, we can move to the next view, which should be something related to I shouldn't be guessing, it should be related to the data entry, then the activity selection and the goal selection. So let's go this, skip this step. Yeah, this one. What's your activity level? This helps us calculate the daily expenditure. And I have to go back to the screen activity selection view and fix a few of the screens. The first one is that I should use the glass background, glass card effect, and should use the default one. Get rid of this. Perfect. And the padding should be of 16. Amazing. So when it scrolls up, you will see that very nice glass effect everywhere. And I'm not happy with this 4 padding. It can go to 2 or maybe 0. No, I think 2 was okay. Okay, much nicer. And then we go back, and this activity level selection view is also sorted. And the final view is the goal selection view, which is the most common view that we have seen everywhere. getting the, like, if you want to maintain weight, lose weight, or maintain weight, lose weight, or gain weight. Yes, just to be on the safe side, we skip the skip. Yeah. So when it scrolls up, you can see it is trying to hit into that very nice, like, you can see actually, like, I'll like zoom in to show you. When I scroll up to the point, you can see the step 3 by 5, you can see the reflection of that glass, and it looks so nice. Oh my god, yeah, so nice. There's one problem here that I notice after zooming in, because I think the glass effect, or the glass card, has a 16 uh, radius by default. Yeah, 16, and I was using 12 here. That's why we were getting that bad impression. Perfect. So that is sorted. And on the final view, which is the goal selection view, what's your goal? This determines your daily calorie target. So how fast do you want to lose weight? And then we're using the glass card here, and then each of the views should be using the exact same way. I really need to have very strong rules file, so we don't end up doing this all the time. And I think it would require the environment theme as well. Theme manager. Yep. Perfect. So this should be a full one. This should also be a full one. What else? Not sure what's this fill. I think we have made a lot of changes, so let's commit it. It's a good habit to commit regularly and often, especially when you're dealing with the AI tools that can overwrite a lot of the changes that you have made. Generate. Oh my god, it's so slow. Is my internet affected? Okay, it did work. Nice. So lose weight, gain weight, and if I have to zoom in a bit, how fast do you want to lose weight? So I can see that there's another border somewhere. I think this is the extra border. No, this is fine. There's another extra border. Okay, this one. And this padding is not required. Perfect. I think it is using a constant value. Yes. Lose weight and gain weight. Perfect. I guess gain weight should also have a stable weight increase, and it should also ask, gain weight should also ask for how much weight to gain every week, right? Because I never had a, well, I was never in a situation where I had to gain weight, so I actually do not know how much weight is okay to gain uh, every month or every week. So it says it has no, because actually weight loss rate has no member gain description, because as the name suggests, the enum enumeration is called as weight loss gain. Please rename it and add the gain description. Let me see where the rate is. It has the deficit per week and it should have the surplus per week. So uh, because we are going with the conservative model, so we will have uh, the pounds will remain the same and the deficit will increase. The deficit per week will increase as well. So there will be another value with surplus per week. So you see it added the gain description, and should you also add the surplus per week. Okay, perfect. So we have the enum with much more better values, and let's go back and see if it will use the weight goal and should use the weight change rate as the value, so we can have the weight gain as well. So it cannot find because it has to calculate this and it's using the old way. And even the word deficit isn't deficit anymore, it's the change. So if the daily deficit and the gain weight, it wouldn't be daily deficit, so it says reuse the same deficit logic. I think we should use a better rename for it. I shouldn't have to see that it is just reusing it or using the wrong word. Just so it's, you can see that the deficit, it's just doing minus or plus, which sucks. And I think with that we are done with the onboarding. Don't think there's anything else that I would want to add to the onboarding. It kind of matches what all the other macro apps are using, and yeah, this was what I had in mind, and I was finally able to do it. Is there any view that I'm missing out on? And all of the view has the, so I would just check once. I will just give it, while it is fixing this, I would want to check once if we are still using the animated mesh gradient somewhere. Okay, we are still using it in the launch screen, so I don't want to do that. Let's get rid of it and just have, okay, viewers, get rid of this, yeah, and just have the background as the top gradient view. Perfect. There's a health kit data. Okay, this is just a mock, so I should get rid of it here as well, and here as well. And I would want to get rid of the file as well, because I can add it whenever I want, so that's not a requirement. So get rid of this file. Perfect. So the app fully builds, and if I go back and see the onboarding view, we have done ready to train, notification, metabolic, quick health, and all of them are done. So the whole onboarding has been, it's not completely redone, but it was more on augmenting the changes in the onboarding itself. So with that, I will conclude the stream. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed watching the stream in the first place. And the next thing I would want to do or work on is the paywall, and then I would work on, so for the paywall, my plan is to, so if you see my paywall, I would show you somewhere it should be some paywall prompt view. or the container view. If I try to show you the paywall, the thing with the paywall is that I'm using my own and I'm not happy with it again. So my plan is to use Revenue Cat's paywall system, and the last time I used it was, when was it, in 2023, when they had dropped it. uh, it was actually in beta, and I was working for a startup, and we really wanted a very simple paywall to get the users subscribing to the app. And at that time it was, they only had 3 templates, but now I tried last month and they had, I don't know, 20-30 templates. So I felt so overwhelmed that I didn't create the paywall myself, but in the next stream we will create a paywall together. And I hope that would be an interesting journey, especially if you are also a Shipaton participant and would want to create a paywall for your app. So we can also build in public, learn in public together. Like, as I have said last year, or if you have read my blog post on Shipaton, that the best part of Shipaton last year for making the friends along the way. And it's so funny. I want, funny is kind of a negative word, but it's so amusing that when I was at a conference called as Try Swift Tokyo in Japan, I was there and somebody comes to me and like, hey, you won for meshing, you won the Build in Public award. I'm like, yes, I'm that guy. So I did not expect myself to be recognized for winning a hackathon, but it was a fun time last year. I do not have the same motivation that I had last year, and I'm working on this, but let's see how that goes. So this is a paywall that I don't think I'm using, but this actually looks nice. Uh, it actually looks nicer than what I was thinking. So maybe I would not use the Revenue Cat paywall in the end. But the thing about the Revenue Cat paywall was because you get the A/B testing, and I really wanted that A/B testing. But if I don't have any users, what's the point of A/B testing? So this is something that I will try to ship. The unlock premium, all of this is kind of opaque and vague because I don't think I'm using it anywhere. I just created it on 12th and it's not used anywhere. I was using a more contextual paywall, which means that if you click on the voice logging option, it will open a different paywall versus if you open on some other view. So with that, thank you so much and I hope you have a good day. Are there any comments that I missed? No.